Okay, then let us just continue. So yeah, Neil gave you yesterday here the periodic table. Yeah, you should have it always with you. Yeah, and if somebody has forgotten it, then we will just put this one somewhere here, and then you can just take it. Yeah. So, and now we have again the problem. No, that is not. That is not good. So I mean, I can just go home and take your number.
Yeah. Or if somebody wants to lend their laptop to the class.
Here there's the laptop, yeah. So we gave him extra bonus points. Yeah. So then we are making what are, yeah? And we should make it bigger if possible. Can we make it bigger? I mean that is on things that is now how is it called an acrobat. There must be somewhere a thing where we can make it bigger. A tool. Go to full screen mode. Full screen mode, yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's now bigger. But we have even more space. But anyway, you can read it from there, you can see it, yeah? So that is because of the dark background, yeah? So then we are just going to the last slide from last week. Yeah, this was the one, is it? Go to the next one.
This one, eh?
Yeah, let us just continue with this one. So I showed you last week the QAPF diagrams for the granitic rocks. You remember, if we can just go a little bit, 2 diagrams before. Yes, just go 2 back. 1 more, yes. This one. So this is now the QAPF diagram for the granitic rocks. I don't know if you saw it also in ES203. If not, then you can see it now. We are using in petrology and geochemistry always these classification diagrams. So, and therefore, when you are using these QAPF diagrams, then you are using just the volumetric concentration, how many plagioclase is inside, how many parts is inside, how many alkali feldspar is inside, and then you can classify these rocks. So, and here, here we have the granite, and the granite that is, we showed you last week a piece of a granite, and the granite that is actually the main rock type, or granitoid rocks. These are the most common rock in the continental crust. Yeah, I mean here in Vanua level, in Viti level, you can also find some granitoid rocks. Here you can find the tonalite. Yeah. So in the tonalite you have seen during the ES106 field trip, is it so? Yeah. Have they been at the Yamuna Creek? Ah, okay, then you have not seen the tonalite. That's a pity. But anyway, then you will see it maybe in 2 years. So anyway, we have here the tonalite, and we have here the granodiorite, we have here quartzionite, quartz monzonite, and these are all granitoid rocks. And these granitoid rocks above this line here, where is the ruler? The ruler. And here is the ruler, yeah. So in all these granitic rocks which are lying above this line, they are silica saturated, whereas those plotting beneath this line, these are silica undersaturated rocks, yeah? So we will talk about this line also later, because this line is actually called the thermal boundary, yeah? So, and of course, all these rock types, I mean, these are plutonic rocks, and the plutonic rock, you know it by now, by yourself. Plutonic rocks, these are igneous or magmatic rocks, which cool down very slowly because the melt becomes stuck in the depth, and then you are forming a pluton, and such a pluton is cooling down very slowly, and therefore these rocks are very coarse-grained. So next slide, please. So this one we had, yeah, that is just gabbro and troctolite. Next slide. This one we had as well. Next one. So now we are stopping at this one. Here we have now the QAPF diagram for the volcanic rocks. That means for the ES203. So, and I mean, if we are looking here at the rhyolite is chemically exactly the same as a granite, yeah? But the rhyolite is very fine-grained, and that is because the rhyolite was cooled down very fast, because the melt was just erupted during a volcanic eruption, yeah? So, and if this melt comes then in contact with the air, or if the melt comes in contact with water, then this melt will cool down very, very fast, and then you are producing a volcanic rock, and these volcanic rocks are very, very fine-grained rocks because they cool down very fast, and then crystallization processes could not take place, or a little bit crystallization processes, yeah? So the next slide, please. So that is now another classification diagram for the extrusivas, that means for the volcanic rocks. Here we have ultra basic rocks, intermediate rocks, and acidic rocks. So and this is controlled by the SiO2 concentration in the rock. So if you have an ultra basic rock, or an ultra basic rock, we will never have quartz inside. In a basic rock, we can have here at this boundary a little bit quartz inside. If we are having here the acidic rock, then we have much more quartz inside because the silica concentration or the SiO2 concentration is much higher. So here on the y-axis, we have the sodium plus the potassium. These are the alkalis, yeah? The alkalis, the sodium and the potassium concentration. And then you find here within different rock types. I mean, here we have the fluid rocks, yeah? The volcanic fluid rocks. These are these rocks which are plotting in the QADF, then release the line, yeah? Because they are silica undersaturated. So then we have here the basalt. So and the plutonic equivalent from a basalt, that is the gabbro, yeah? The basalt just cooled down much faster, whereas the gabbro was not in contact with water or with air, so and then the gabbro cools down slower. So but you can see here in the Viti level or in Manua level or in Koro, I don't know, I can't remember. There you can see gabbros which cool down also very fast. So and then they have a rim around, and this rim we are calling chilled border. So, but therefore we will talk that we will talk in detail that in ES203. So, and there we have the phonolite. The phonolite is called a phonolite because if you are hammering small plates out of it, then you can, and then you are using a hammer or a stick, and then you can produce a very nice sound. Yeah. So I mean, people 2,000 years ago, or no, not maybe 2,000 years ago, maybe 5,000 years ago, they had not a drum, and then they have used the phonolite to make the music. Next slide. So when we have when we have a volcanic eruption, then we are producing during this eruption different material, and different material becomes thrown out while or during the volcanic eruption. So we have here glass. So and I mean, if we have glass, that is a rock or is a mineral which cool down very, very fast. Yeah, very fast. So and then it is very homogeneous. So there we are talking about vitric tooth. Then if we are watching a volcanic eruption, then also rock fragments become thrown out. And these rock fragments become just thrown out because they were just picked up from the bed or from the gas phase during the eruption. So and then we are talking about this and about lithic tooth. And then we have also some crystals which become thrown out. So that is then the tooth, yeah. So here we have another classification. We have, while we have a volcanic eruption, then we are producing a lot of ash. So the ash flows are actually very, very dangerous, yeah, because the ash flow is very fast. So when there was a couple, a French couple, yeah, that was Monica and I forgot the first name of the man, yeah, but both had the surname Graf because they were married. So when they were two volcanologists, or they have been, both of them have been volcanologists, and they died in 1993 at the Unzen volcanic eruption in Japan. And that was such an ash flow. And such an ash flow goes down the hill maybe with 200 kilometers per hour, yeah, and nobody of us can run 200 kilometers per hour. Even a cheetah cannot run 200 kilometers per hour. They are making at least 100 kilometers per hour. So, and this is the ash, and this ash is then smaller, the particles are smaller than 2 millimeters. So then we have here the lapilli. Lapillis were forming also during very explosive eruptions. Lapillis, these are small balls, yeah, 2 to 64 millimeters. So, but 64 millimeters in size, that is very seldom. Usually they are more on the small side, between 2 and 5 millimeters, something like this. So in such lapillis, they are indicative for a phreatomagmatic eruption. So in the phreatomagmatic eruption is also very dangerous because they are very, very explosive. Yeah. So a typical recent example for a phreatomagmatic volcanic eruption, that was Mount St. Helens in 1981, I think so. Yes, that was in 1981, and this eruption took place. I mean, you know where Mount St. Helens is. It is on the west coast of the United States, and this was a very dangerous eruption because these lapillis are always formed when your melt comes in contact with water. So that was there the case because Mount St. Helens was covered with an ice sheet, or the top is covered with ice sheet. So and then the melt from which was then below, yeah, was just heated up the ice, and then the ice of course becomes molten. You know this. Then you are producing water, and if you are heating up very, very fast, which was the case there, then you are producing steam, yeah? So and that makes such a volcano very, very explosive. And if you are watching pictures from Mount St. Helens before 1981 and after 1981, then you can see that the whole mountain is becomes after the eruption much more smaller, because I think the top 500 meters of the volcano were becomes just removed and were thrown through the air. Yeah? So then we have blocks and bombs here. So and the blocks and the bombs are not that dangerous. Yeah? So these blocks and bombs, I mean, here in Switzerland, they are bigger than 64 millimeters. I mean, these bombs can be of this size, yeah. So, but if you are visiting a volcano, then you have to be an active volcano, yeah. As I have done in 1998. In 1998, I was in southern Italy, and there I visited the volcanic eruption from Mount Etna and from Mount Stromboli. Mount Stromboli is like the Tana volcano here in Tonga. They are erupting every 15 to 20 minutes, and especially during the night it is very beautiful. Then you can go there. I will show you then some pictures about these eruptions. Then you can go there and can just watch every 15 minutes the eruption. And if you have your camera, you know, fixed on a stative, and you are opening the, how is it called, the aperture there, long enough, maybe 20 seconds, something like this, then you can make really, really nice pictures. So at the Tana volcano, I don't know if somebody here from Vanuatu. Great, congratulations. Because I would like to go to a Tana volcano. Yeah. I planned to go there a while ago, because there it is very nice. You can rent such a tree house, yeah, and then you are just staying in the tree house. I don't know how far this tree house is away from the volcano, but during the night it must be beautiful. So when I visited Mount Etna, I mean, in 1998 there I was still a student, yeah. And we visited Mount Etna, and we went to the top of the volcano, and we were just walking around the crater while it was erupting, and one of my colleagues got such a bomb on his head. Yeah. I mean, he is still alive, he did not die, but this was a very bloody thing. Yeah. So if you are visiting a volcano, then you should, and you are going very close to it, then it is actually a dangerous thing, yeah, but it does not matter if it is dangerous or not. I mean, that is the best thing what you can do in life. So, but anyway, you should then have a helmet, yeah, because otherwise, if you are getting such a bomb on the head, that can kill you. Then it was your last volcanic eruption. So, next slide, please. So, yeah, here we have it, yeah, here we have the different rock types. We have inchless rocks, yeah, you know this by now what an inchless rock is, because I'm repeating always myself. So, and this is now how it looks like on Mount Etna, yeah. So, and there you have the melt is coming out. I mean, this is melt, and if it cools down then very fast in the air, then you get these volcanic bombs, yeah. So, and if you are standing here, then you should wear a helmet, yeah. So, next slide. So, and then we have here, while we are sampling a rock sample, yeah, then we have to be carefully, I mean, at first you describe the rock in the field, yeah. You are just going to the field and then you are taking the GPS location from your rock. That is very important, because if you are publishing then this data or your results from these rocks, and other people are reading this, then they must know from where these rocks are coming. So, and then we have here a granite, yeah, that is an inchless rock, but it is plutonic. So, and then you can describe the rock in macro texture. If you are describing the rock in macro texture, then you are just writing down what you can see. Yeah, there you can just use a hand lens. And then you saw this rock then just last week. Here we have K-feldspar, the black stuff is a biotite. Here the very shiny stuff that is quartz, and the white stuff is plagioclase. So, after you have described your rock in a hand specimen, then you are studying the microtextures. So, for studying the microtextures, you have to make a thin section. So, in a couple of weeks ago, we will do also some microscopic work, or a little bit, yeah, because I do have only 9 microscopes, and then we have always to make groups, yeah. So, and then you can observe the minerals in thin section, yeah. So then you can use different methods and techniques to find out exactly what type of minerals this is. Then you have this. So in the next step is you are using your thin section, and then you are going with your thin section to an electron microprobe analyzer. So in there you have a beam, and then you can detect exactly how many weight percent of all the oxide elements are inside. I mean, how many SiO2, how many K2O, the whole mass. Yeah, you can then and there you can then measure the mineral chemical composition of every mineral, yeah? So, and if you have the mineral chemical composition of every mineral, then you are starting to study the mineral chemistry, yeah? We have done now a little bit mineral chemistry, but we will do more mineral chemistry, and then you are coming to your FN exchanges and all these exchanges, yeah? Because the mineral chemical composition of every mineral tells you under which parameters this rock was formed. For example, at which pressure and at which temperature and. So, and then you can study the history of such a rock. So, but of course you are studying there also other things, because you like to know how old your rock is, yeah? So, I mean, if you are going to the Stromboli in Sicily, or if you are going to the Tara in Vanuatu, then you don't have to date the rocks, because they were just formed right now, yeah? So, but if you are going, for example, somewhere else, to the Yaruna Creek, and you are sampling the Scabros and the tonalites, as I have done, or you are going somewhere else in the world, for example in Africa, yeah, there you have very, very old rocks, and then you would also like to know how old these rocks are, and then it's the next thing, you are dating these rocks, yeah? Then you have to date all these rocks, what is this? Then you have to date all these rocks, and then you are doing, for example, you are measuring also the raw earth elements, yeah? I mean, you are measuring not only the oxide concentration from your rock form minerals. So I mean, when you are going to a microscope analyzer, then you are measuring at first the sodium, yeah, the magnesium, the potassium, the calcium. Then you are measuring, of course, the silica and the silicium. Then you are measuring aluminium, you are measuring iron, you are measuring manganese, you are measuring chromium and titanium. So this is the stuff which is important that you can do your mineral chemistry. So, but then you also would like to know how looks it with the raw earth elements. The raw earth elements are in much, or they are actually only in minor concentration inside. Yeah, these elements which you are measuring with the microprobe, you are measuring them in weight percent. Yeah, so and then you are calculating the atomic units, which we will do later. So in the raw earth elements, you are measuring in ppm. ppm, that is parts per million. Yeah, these are very low concentration. So and there you are measuring then all these things which are written here below, starting from lanthan, going over cerium to lutetium or ytterbium. But you are measuring then also the potassium group elements like rubidium, strontium, barium. So that is just a small rough overview of what one can do with all these rocks. Yeah, one can do actually much more things. So, but now we are going to the next slide. So therefore we have now different rock types. Yeah, we have inchless rocks, these are magmatic rocks, and therefore we are subdividing them in extrusivas and intrusivas. Yeah, extrusivas are volcano, and intrusivas are plutons. Yeah. So then we have sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks, I mean, we will do in the class, in this class here, and for those who are doing next year the ES203 and the ES201, we will not talk too much about sedimentary rocks, because sedimentary rocks are actually not really rocks. Yeah, I mean that has nothing to do with a hard rock. That is just grains and mud. So, but anyway, we have sedimentary rocks. There we subdividing them in clastic rocks, which we are calling detritic rocks, or also detritic rocks. Then we have chemical sediments and we have biogenic sediments. So chemical sediments and biogenic sediments you can also find here in Fiji. Yeah? I mean the chemical sediment, these are just sedimentation of unorganic particles. Whereas in biogenic sediments, there you have then also some foraminifers and all this stuff inside, and then therefore we are calling them biogenic. So and then one have the metamorphic rocks. These are actually my most loved rocks, yeah, because metamorphic rocks are just beautiful. So because a metamorphic rock was before a sedimentary rock, or it was before an inchless rock, or it was before another metamorphic rock. So and therefore we have the different processes. We have here orogens, yeah. So an orogen, that is the formation of a mountain belt or orogeny, yeah. So and there we have subductant related orogenies, a subductant related orogenies. That is, for example, in South America. Yeah, I mean the Andes are actually the best example. Yeah, you have the subduction of an oceanic plate with this continental crust. So if we are going to New Caledonia, in New Caledonia you have also beautiful metamorphic rocks. There you have green schists, you have blue schists, you have eclogites. So, and these are then subducted related rocks. Then we have collision related rocks, that is just a collision from two continents, yeah? So I mean you can have more from microcontinents, yeah? So, and for example, the most famous collision-related orogeny, that is the Himalaya, yeah? I mean the Himalaya, that is a very high mountain belt. Mount Everest is the highest mountain on this planet, which is 8,840 meters high, or in height, yeah? So that in Europe you have the Alps, yeah? The Alps, yeah? The Alps, that is the collision between the European plate and the African plate, yeah? So, and I mean, Africa is still moving towards to the north. So, and you know, between Africa and the European plate, you have the Mediterranean Sea, yeah, the Mediterranean Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea will disappear in 35 million years. So then you cannot go longer to Greece or Italy for doing and lying around on the beach, because the beach is then deformed and it is lying somewhere in the mountains, yeah. So at the highest mountain in the Alps, that is the Mont Blanc, and the Mont Blanc is about 4,400 meters high, something like this. So in the highest mountain in Germany related to the Alps, that is the Zugspitze, which is 2,992 meters high. So, and then we have also oceanic metamorphic rocks in the ocean. So, because if you are going to Tonga or if you are going to Vanuatu, there you have the collision between two oceanic plates, yeah? So, and then we have local metamorphism. So, in the local metamorphic event, that is then a conductor metamorphic event. So, I don't know if Eleanor has done it with you, but we will discuss this later again, yeah? So, that is a conductor metamorphic event. So, and then another metamorphic event, that is the impact metamorphism. So in impact metamorphism, it is not written here. I don't know why I have not written it. Maybe I was drunk or I don't know. So, but now I'm telling it to you, the impact metamorphic event, that is when a meteorite crashed down. So I mean the biggest impact metamorphic event what we had here on this planet, that was just shortly after the Earth was formed. So I mean, you know that the terrestrial planets, that is the Earth, that is the Venus, that is the Mercury, and the Mars, yeah, the Mars. So these are the four terrestrial planets, and the four terrestrial planets, they are formed something around 4,500 million years ago. So, and after the first 200 million years of the Earth, I mean, in the first 200 million years of this planet, we had a Hadean magma ocean. It was everywhere magma, there was no landmass, there was nothing. So, but within or after the first 200 million years of the planet, there was a huge meteoritic impact, and the meteorite was of the size of Mars. So you know Mars, that is the outer, the more, it is, I mean, the Mars is from the four terrestrial planets. This one, which is fast, but more far away as the other three from the Sun. I mean, closest to the Sun is Mercury. Then you have Venus. Venus is the sister planet of the Earth. Then you have the Earth, and then you have Mars. So, and then you have the ice and the gas planets, and this is the Saturn, the Jupiter, the Uranus, and the Neptune, yeah. And the outermost planet, that is the Pluto. But with the Pluto, the thing with the Pluto is it is very small, and the other saying it is a moon, and the other saying it is a planet, and the Pluto is not running exactly in the same circuits around as the Sun and as the other planets around the Sun. So in the outer, the gas planets, they are formed something like 5 billion years ago, 5,000 billion years ago. Anyway, within the first 200 billion years while the Earth was formed, what time is it? Yeah, we have still a lot of time left. Then there was this huge impact from a Mars-sized body. So and that was then the formation of the moon, yeah? Because the Mars-sized body crashed down somewhere where we have today the North Pole, yeah? I mean, the poles are also always changing, yeah? And that was there where we have today the North Pole, and that was the formation of the moon. And the Earth's axis was then not longer vertical, it was then flipped out of balance, maybe about 8 degrees, something like this. You have this in your ES203 documents, yeah? You can just check it again there. So, and that was this huge impact. So, and if we would have such a huge impact as at this time, yeah, then every life on Earth is gone. Yeah, because that makes them really, that has good power. So, and then the next, another huge impact, you remember this maybe also, that was then 63 to 65 billion years ago. I think it was actually 63 million years ago, but in some textbook it's written 65. I don't know why they are writing it wrong, if I can do it correct. So, and this impact, 63 million years ago, that was there where we have today the Gulf of Mexico, yeah? And that was this impact which killed all the dinosaurs, yeah? So, because the problem was, if you have a huge impact, then you are producing a lot of ash and dust. So, and therefore, it was that the whole planet was darkened up, yeah? So, and if it is dark on the planet, then nothing will grow, yeah? So, and then the poor dinosaurs, they had nothing to eat. That was their big problem, yeah? So, I mean, a lot of them, they were eaten plants, yeah, like the protozoans and all these candidates. And some others, they were eating meat, yeah, like the T-Rex. The T-Rex was very dangerous and was eating all the meat. So, but then he lost them also because those animals which he or she was eating, they died also because of the plants. So, and that was the time when the dinosaurs left. So, some remnants of the dinosaurs are still here. Yeah, you know this. You have the crocodiles in Africa, or in Australia. You have also crocodiles. Then you have the alligators in Dingsbums in North America. And here in Fiji, you have also some remnants left from this time while the dinosaurs were alive. And these are this is what for an animal. These are the turtles. The turtles coming also from this time. So in Argentina you can have big turtles, you can have small turtles. I mean, the Galapagos turtles, they are of this size, yeah, you can even ride on them, yeah. So, but now we are continuing here with this stuff. So here we have now the rock side. So the rock side, that is something very, very important. So we have here different rocks. So now we are starting with an inchless rock. So here we have an inchless rock. So, and I mean that this inchless rock could be a volcanic rock or a plutonic rock, yeah? So now we have this inchless rock, and at the beginning of the Earth, we had only inchless rocks, yeah? There was nothing else. So and now we can do something with this inch-less rock. We can make, for example, such plates. This is not an inch-less rock, but we make such plates. Then one can walk around on them, but one can do also other things. One can put heat and pressure on this inch-less rock. Yeah? So if we are putting heat and pressure on this inch-less rock, then we are making a metamorphic rock out of it. Yeah? We are having a collision belt, like a collision of two continental fragments or two continents, or we have the collision of like in the Andes, or we have an impact or so. Then we are changing always the pressure and the temperatures, and we are deforming this rock. Yeah. So then we have here such a set fault. So and then we have a metamorphic rock. So or we can just behave like a gardener and walking around on your rock with, and putting always water on it, you know. 10,000 years, 20,000 years you are walking there and walking there with your can and putting water on it, and then weathering will take place. So that means your inch-less rock here will fall in pieces. So and these pieces are the grains, and these grains becoming transported to the ocean, and then you are making their sediments. Yeah. So then we have here the cementation and compaction. We are talking here about liquefaction. Then we are forming here from our sediments a sedimentary rock. So if we have then this sedimentary rock, we can also do two things with it. We can put heat and pressure on it and making from our sedimentary rock a metamorphic rock. Yeah? Or we can just walking around, maybe in this case not 10 or 20,000 years, maybe in this case only 5,000 years. Yeah? Then these sediments will become also fragmented, weathered, transported and deposited. So then we have here now our metamorphic rock, and with the metamorphic rock we can do also different things. We can just heat this metamorphic rock up, and then we will produce again melt from our metamorphic rock. Yeah? So and then we will produce from our metamorphic rock an inch-less rock. So and therefore we are measuring all these rare earth elements, because then we can reconstruct the history of the rock. So because that is actually what you want at the end of the day as a metamorphic petrologist or a magmatic petrologist or well petrologist or whatever. You would like to reconstruct the history of your rock. So and if you have the history of your rock reconstructed, then you can reconstruct the geodynamic or the geotectonic process of your continents. Yeah? So, or you can just walking around with the can of water on your metamorphic rock, and then weathering and transportation and deposition processes took again place. So in these slides with the rock cycles, these are very good slides, and with this stuff I can ask in the examination or in the test. I can ask a lot of questions, and that I will do. So next slide. So then we have now a summary here. Sedimentary rocks, these are weathering. We have weathering, then we have mechanical and chemical destruction of our rocks. Then we have the transportation, that is just the mechanical movement of rock fragments that we are calling the detritus. And we have these dissolved components by flowing water, and that is then gravity driven. So then we have deposition. So we have the deposition of the detritus in low energy environments, such as deep sea basement, continental shelf fragments, or plates, platforms, lakes, graded river system, chemical precipitation, and blah blah blah. Yes, you have then also the formation of calcite gypsum and halite. So then number D, we have the lithification, that is the diagenesis, and that is you have then the reduction of the pore space and the formation of water content. So the reduction of pore space, that is now an interesting phenomena. Is somebody here from Kiribati? Nobody here from Kiribati. You are from Kiribati, yeah. And then that is this reduction of pore space, that is now a thing what happens in Kiribati, because Kiribati is not volcanic. So these are sediments. So, and on the other hand, you have the rise up of the sea level, yeah. But in Kiribati, you have the double effect. You have the rise up of the sea level, and you have the reduction of the pore space. So, and that means that the Iceland itself becomes also smaller by itself, which is not caused by the rise up of the sea level. So therefore you have this double effect. So if you are looking at most of the Fijian islands, they are not affected by the reduction of pore space, yeah, because these are volcanic rocks and they are just remaining for the next 100,000 years as they are today. Yeah. So next slide. So then we have detrital sediments, there we have gravels, conglomerates, brexas, then we have sand, sandstones, arkoses, greywax, then we have shales, argillites, and siltstones, and we have volcanic clastic sediments. So, yeah, next slide. So then we have non-clastic sediments. These are the limestones and the dolomites. Here in Bittilevu you can find a lot of limestones. We have the cherts, the ironstones, or the phosphorites. Then we have salines and other evaporites. Yeah, these are the gypsum, anhydrite, halite, blah blah blah. And we have the carbonaceous sediments. So, but now we are going back to geology. So, and here we have another picture for the rock cycle. That is also a very nice picture. Yeah. What for a situation can we see here? Yeah, that is nearly the same picture as the first picture which I showed you last week in class. Here we have an oceanic lithosphere which becomes subducted beneath the continental lithosphere. So then you have here your continental crust. Here you are starting to melt sediments. At first you are starting to melt the sediments which are lying above. So when these sediments are in this depth, at this depth these sediments are no longer sediments, these are high-grade metamorphic rocks. So in these former sediments you have a much higher water concentration compared to the gabbros from the oceanic crust. And if you are like to produce melt, then you need always volatiles. Yeah? And these volatiles, I mean, there is not a tap somewhere where people are turning, or the devil is turning out of the water from the tap. This is the OH group in hydrous minerals. And these hydrous minerals, these are the micas, and these are the amphiboles. But there are also some other hydrous minerals, but that is now the main component. So then you have the formation of melt, and this melt will then rise up. So when this melt will rise up, because the density is lower, and then you have a density contrast, and therefore the melt is rising up through the mantle wedge. Yeah, I told you last week, this stuff here below, that is the mantle wedge. Yep. So, and that is rising up through the continental lithosphere. So, and everywhere here around, when the melt becomes stuck, yeah, this melt which becomes stuck will form here a pluton, and in the contact area to the surrounding rocks, then contact metamorphism will take place. Yeah? So, and those melt which will make it to the top here, yeah, that will just end up in a volcanic eruption, and then you have a beautiful volcano, and you have to wear your helmet, yeah. So, and after a while, I mean, you know it, especially here from Fiji, you know it because it's rainy every day, yeah. So, and then weathering processes take place, and then this weathering, the water will then water and wind as well, but mainly water, will then transport all these particles to the ocean, and then these sediments becoming deposited here, yeah. So, and then you are subducting it again, yeah. So, in this process, I need all the oceanic lithosphere, or the oldest oceanic lithosphere. I need the very old oceanic lithosphere. That is 275 million years old. So, but let us say the older parts of the oceanic lithosphere, that is 200 million years old, yeah? So, whereas the oldest material from the continental crust, yeah, and that you can find in Australia and in South Africa, but you can also find some very old material in Greenland and at the North Pole. There you can find material which is 4,000 billion years old, or 3,800 billion years old, yeah? So, and that means the whole oceanic crust becomes recycled in the Earth's mantle, or was by now recycled in the Earth's mantle at least 20 times. That is very important. Becomes subducted at least 20 times. So if you are running here around in Fiji, and you are looking for the ages of all these islands here, then they are very young. The islands here in Fiji, Viti Levu is the oldest one, and the oldest circuit which I have dated, these are the Gabros here from the Yamuna Creek, and these Gabros are 47 million years old, yeah? 47 million years, that is compared to 4,600 million years, that's just nothing. It was just yesterday, yeah? So in the other rocks, they are even much more younger. If you are at the tonalites here in Viti Levu, they are about 37 million years old. So, and all these andesites here, they vary in age. The diorites about 16.5 million years old, the oldest one. And all the andesites here on the Viti Levu, they are varying in age between 6.5 or 3.5. It depends always what for dating methods they have used. They vary in age between a couple of million years to 39 million years, yeah, all just yesterday. So if you are going to Manua Levu, they are even just younger. There you have rocks, they are just 1 million years old. Or if you are going to Koro, there are rocks that are also just 1 million years old. And it's just nothing, just 5 minutes ago. So, and if you are going to Kandavu, then the rocks, they are even not 1 million years old. They are just 2,000 years old. 2,000, yeah? So, and that is just a very, very young. And the interesting thing is, here on all these islands in the South Pacific, you are producing now new material, yeah? So that means the clock is actually starting here from new. So because here you find all this, the formation of all these small islands, yeah? If I'm thinking about my studies, which I have done in Tanzania, I'm still studying rocks from Tanzania. So in Tanzania you have, it is not only in Tanzania, it is the East African orogeny, or the East African Rift. So and that is the East African orogeny, or Mozambique Belt. It is also called the Mozambique Belt. And the Mozambique Belt is starting in Ethiopia, that is just in the north, and goes down to Mozambique. Therefore, people are calling it the Mozambique Belt. And then it just runs through Kenya, and then it goes through Tanzania, and if you are going more to the south of Tanzania, then you are running through Malawi, and then you are running into Mozambique. So, and there the rocks are much older. Yeah, the rocks are, I mean, I got a lot of Archean ages there. I can just give you sometimes a presentation or a couple of presentations from my own research. It's maybe more interesting. There the protolites, I mean the former ageless rocks, they are of Archean age. So they vary in age between 2,500 and 2,900 million years. Yeah. So there you had then the formation of all such small islands like here, but just 2,000 back 2,500 to 2,900 million years. So then you have also the formation of a lot of small islands in the Paleoproterozoic. And these ages vary then between 1,800 and 2,000 million years. So and then you have another period that was then about between 730 million years and 1,000 million years, or 1,100 million years. And there you had the next period of the formation or the emplacement of a lot of volcanoes and of a lot of intrusive bodies. So and then 640 million years old, 640 million years ago, all these pieces were crashed together. So and that was then the East African orogeny, and there all these small islands with all the different rocks were collided. So and that is now the Mozambique Valley. So and we know by now, there are studies about, that was now 640 million years. So here in Fiji we have actually now the same situation, but the fragments we are not collided by now. Yeah? So they will maybe collide in 50 million years. From our calculation, we think that Viti-Levu is crashing into Australia in 50 million years. So then you don't need a longer to fly there. You can just walk over. And then maybe in 300 million years, Australia, together with all these islands, with all the Fijian islands colliding into Australia, New Zealand is by this time also around or collided with all these different plates. And then maybe in 300 million years or even longer, I mean, Australia and all the stuff is then also moving to the north, and then you will just crash into Indonesia, and then finally the whole thing will crash into China. Yeah. So and that is the rock side. So it happens since the planet exists. I mean, the first continent that was Walbara, that was this piece between the Kapal in South Africa and the Pilbara in Western Australia. That was the first continent. Yeah, that was the first continent, and the first continent exists between 2,800 and 3,300 million years ago. So then you have the next continent, the supercontinent. When we are talking about supercontinents, then we are talking about always about the situation when the whole landmass is together. So, and the next supercontinent was Columbia. that was 2,500 million years ago, and Columbia was much bigger. That was much bigger than the Walbara, yeah, because you had there in the late Archean, you had a lot of volcanic activity. So and then you are just forming new landmass. So and then you had 2,000 million years ago during Paleoproterozoic time, you had the Luna land, yeah. That was also a supercontinent. So and then 1,100 million years ago, you had Rodinia. Rodinia was then also a big continent. So then about 550 million years ago, you had supercontinent Gondwana. Then 250 million years ago, you have supercontinent Pangaea. So and now we have the situation that all the landmass is apart from each other, yeah? When we have the situation that all the landmass is apart from each other, then it becomes automatically more hot on the planet because you have the heat production from the middle ocean ridges and from the ocean floor. Yeah? For example, here in the South Pacific, you have huge heat production. So and that leads that also actually much more to the rise up of the sea level compared to the rise up of the sea level, which is produced by the humans and which is called the climate change. So because the natural process is much more powerful. So but that is important because without the heat production of the ocean floor, then it becomes very cold on this planet. Yeah? So in this situation we have always when all the landmass is together. So when we have a supercontinent, that means all the landmass is together, then it becomes very cold. And it becomes so cold that we cannot survive. Yeah? So if we have the situation when all the landmass is together next time, then it's actually time for the humans to go, but together with the elephants and the other guys as well. Yeah? Because then we have then maybe minus 50 degrees or something like this, yeah, and we have and the whole planet is maybe covered with ice. So, and this situation we have maybe in 100 million years or 300 million years, you know that it's very, very difficult to estimate, yeah. I mean, when the BTNEBO is smashing into Australia, that one can calculate very easily, but you know there are a lot of unknown parameters, yeah. So that was now a small travel through Earth's history. Now we are going to the next slide. So then we have all these different rocks. They contain or consist of different minerals. So here we have, for example, some minerals which you can find in sedimentary rocks. We can find carbonates, yeah, that is the calcite and the aragonite and the dolomite. Here in this carbonates are here the limestone, you can find calcite and you can find dolomite. So then we have, what is the next one? I cannot see it from here, yeah, because I cannot look around the corner. We have sulfates, these are the gypsum, and the anhydrite. Anhydrite is just the waterless gypsum, and in the gypsum itself we have then here water. So then we have the halides. We have the halide, that is the salt which you are putting every day into your soup, yeah. Then we have the sylvite, that is the salt for the kettles, yeah, because the farmers giving to the kettles the sylvite because it is cheaper than halide, yeah. You know, they have always these leak stones, yeah, and then they are leaking the whole day because they have nothing better to do. So then we have the carmelite, and that one you must not remember. So then we have the phosphate, you know the phosphate by now, that is the apatite, you get it to your teeth. Yep. So next slide. So then we have minerals of sedimentary rocks too. We have carbonates, yeah, there we have the soda, we have borates, there we have borax, so and then we have silicates. So and there we have in sedimentary rocks we have clay minerals. So in these clay minerals, this consists of a large group of sheet silicates. These are the phyllosilicates, and we will talk then more about clay minerals when we are doing the mineral chemistry in detail. And what do we have else? Then we have the kaolinite and we have the chloride. So this kaolinite and this chloride, as well as the clay minerals, they occur in sedimentary rocks, and they occur in very, very low-grade metamorphs. So, and in the sedimentary rock, in the sediments, this rock type is then called a clay schist, yeah? And in the very, very low-grade metamorphic rocks, this rock is called the schist clay. So, but the schist clay or the clay schist has nothing to do with each other. That is the same like cow milk and milk cow, yeah? It is made from the same word parts, but it is something totally different. So next slide. So this is just nothing. Then we have this again. We don't need it again because then so now we are coming to the metamorphic rocks. Yeah. So there we have now a phase diagram. So if we are studying metamorphic rocks or inchless rocks, we are always calculating phase diagrams. That is for me a lot of fun, but we are still struggling with them. So this phase diagram, I mean the most famous phase diagram, or the most used phase diagrams, we are using always the temperature and the pressure. So here in this phase diagram, we have now the quartz varieties. Yeah? So a quartz, you know by now, I showed you some pictures from quartz last week, and I showed you also the atomic structure from quartz. And the quartz can be subdivided into different subgroups. So the chemistry of all these quartz, different quartz minerals, is always the same, and the chemistry is always SiO2. So but here we have a low quartz, and this low quartz is this one which we can find on the Earth's surface. So the low quartz has a density of 2.65. So as you know how to calculate the density, that is the density, and there we are using always the Greek letter O divided. The density is then mass divided by the volume. So, and if we are sending now this rock here is just a hypothetical PT pass, yeah? If we are sending then this rock down in the or if we have a collision belt, yeah? So because in the collision belt, I mean in the continent collision, we have then also a lot of parts. So and then we can modify the parts, yeah? So and then we have this, and then we are increasing the pressure and increasing the temperature. So while we are increasing the pressure on your atomic unit cell of these minerals consist of a lot of atomic unit cells, but the smallest cell is one atomic unit cell. So if we are increasing the pressure on them, then you are decreasing the volume from your unit cells, and then the density becomes higher, yeah? So if we are going here into a depth of, or if we have a pressure of more than 80 kilobars, that means we are sitting in a depth of about 240, a little bit more than 240 kilometers, then we can produce from our originally low quartz and stishovite, yeah? And the stishovite is then a very high pressure modification of the quartz. So coesite you can still find better stable on the Earth's surface, but stisovites you cannot find. So but there are some people around, they are saying that they have found a stisovite. And I'm telling you now that there is no stisovite on the Earth's surface, because if you are bringing this mineral up to the Earth's surface, it will go back into the low quartz modification. So, and why do you think I'm saying there is no stisovite on the Earth's surface, and other people saying they found a stisovite? Then I can tell you, because I have right, I have always right, and some other people have sometimes also right. So, but they have right when they are saying, or they are correct when they are saying they found a stisovite, and I'm also correct when I'm saying there is no stishovite. So there we have, for example, here a mineral, and that mineral is the mineral garnet, for example. Yeah? And I mean the garnet can be stable under such pressure and temperature conditions. So and every mineral can host inclusions from other minerals. So in this garnet, which was there under this pressure and temperature condition, contains then some stishovite inclusion inside, yeah? So, and of course, while this garnet was brought up to the Earth's surface, that can be during a volcanic eruption, or it can be during a kimberlite eruption, or it could be in a mountain bed due to tectonic processes, or it could be due to weathering effect. You know, when the rocks are becoming weathered, then I mean you are removing always on the top of the mountains, you are removing material, and then the whole mountain becomes lifted up, yeah? You know this. That is called isostasy. So, and I mean that is the same, you can do, you can see it in the harbor, yeah, in the harbor here in the wharf here in town, when they are putting from the container ship all the containers away, then the ship becomes more and more out of the water. Yeah? So that is the same feature with the continents, because the continents are swimming in the magma below. I mean, this magma below that is actually nobody knows what is the consistence of it. Yeah, how liquid it is. Yeah. Or how mobile this material is, because nobody can go there. Yeah? To do a research on the Earth's mantle, as I am also doing, is the same as you are while you are doing research on the Mars. Yeah? Because you can just not go there. That's the problem. Yeah? Because here in the Earth's mantle that is just hot, and with the deepest driller you can go down 15 kilometers. Yeah. So, but when we are studying rocks from a depth of 200 kilometers or 400 kilometers, nobody can go there, yeah? So, and if we have now this garnet hosting this stishovite here, the proof that this was stishovite, I mean now when this garnet is on the Earth's surface, that is now again a low part, yeah? So, but the stishovite has a much higher density. So, if it goes back to low quartz, then the density is much lower. So, and that means the volume of your stishovite or of your quartz becomes bigger and bigger. So, and if you are studying then such a quartz crystal, such a garnet crystal, then you will find everywhere around your quartz, you will find cracks. So, and that is because your stishovite goes back to alpha quartz. So I mean it's low quartz, I'm calling them, or we are calling them alpha quartz, whereas the high quartz that is a beta quartz. So and then you have these micro cracks around these micro cracks in the garnet around this stishovite, and that is the provement. So So that is now such a phase diagram, and these quartz modifications, they are called polymorphic minerals. A polymorphic mineral, that is a mineral which has always the same chemical composition, but the mineral, the crystallographic structure, as well as physical properties like the volume and the density, changing with pressure and temperature. Next slide. So that is now another phase diagram. That is a phase diagram in the MSH system. So there we have now three components in space. So M stands for magnesium, S stands for silica, and H stands for water. Yeah? H2O, that is water. So, and if we are talking about this, these are the olivine normative rocks, and these rocks are you can find in the Harzburgite, yeah. We will be talking about Harzburgites later, and you will see during our field trip also a lot of Harzburgites and Lersolites. So these are the minerals which you can form by using magnesium, silica and water. So then you have here again a hypothetical or a hypothetical PD pass, yeah? So and here at high temperatures you have the N-statite and the forsterite, and the forsterite, that is the spandrel olivine I told you last week, with an XMG of 0.9 and a nickel concentration of about 3000 ppm. Then we have the N-statite, and the N-statite, that is an orthopyroxy, which contains also magnesium and silica and oxygen. So, but if you are going to lower temperatures, then we have here OH-bearing volatiles. We have here the chrysotile, we have the antigorite, and the chrysotile and the antigorite together with the lizardite, these are serpentines. These are serpentines, and these serpentines have also the same chemical composition, or the same mineral chemical composition, but they vary in their crystallographic symmetry, and the chrysotile, that is a serpentine, which is also which we are calling also asbestos, yeah. So in the antigorite, that is a serpentine, which you will form by the consumption or the breakdown of N-statite and forsterite, if you are watering the N-statite and the forsterite, or you can use a chrysotile, increasing the temperature and the pressure on the chrysotile, then you are forming here also forsterite and antigorite. So and here we have the blue side, and the blue side is just magnesium and OH2. So and here we have here the antigorite has an OH4 group. So and here we have the mineral talc. So and the talc is a sheet silicate and has only an OH2 group. So and that means the antigorite has, compared to the talc, more OH2 groups. So that means there is more water inside, yeah? More water in the mineral chemical or crystallographic structure. While you are increasing then the pressure and the temperature, then more and more water becomes removed from the system, and then you are forming out of an antigorite, you are forming then an talc. So and then you are then you have here still the forsterite. So but at lower pressure and temperature, this forsterite contains then more iron. While you are increasing the pressure and the temperature, then your forsterite becomes more and more rich in magnesium. Yeah? There was this FM exchange from last week. So then we are forming here along this curve, our talc becomes also, or break down, it is reacting away, and you are forming an antophyllite. An antophyllite, that is then a double chain silicate, and the double chain silicate, that is then an amphibole. Yep. So that is then an amphibole. So in the amphibole contains also one OH2 group, but it contains much more, has much more magnesium and much more iron, much more silica, and. So and therefore it contains then relatively to the talc less water inside. Yeah? So if you are then increasing the temperature again, yeah, then your antophyllite will react away. And then you are forming from your antophyllite, by the breakdown reaction, from your antophyllite you are forming a forsterite and an N-statite. So and that is something which is very important, especially in metamorphic rocks. You are always, for metamorphic rocks or metamorphism takes always place by mineral chemical reactions. I mean, it is caused by the increase of pressure and temperature conditions, and that will result in a mineral chemical reaction. So, and that makes metamorphic rocks so interesting, because you have always the breakdown and the breakdown or the consumption of a certain mineral, and another mineral is formed, and that you can see in thin section, and that you can study. So, and therefore we are using this phase diagram. That is now a very simple phase diagram, yeah. So, but you are just second-year students and not 10-year students. Then we can just start with a simple phase diagram. So, the next slide. So then we have here a description to metamorphism. So we have here regional scale metamorphism, yeah. That is a local scale metamorphic event, as I told you before. Then we have related subduction processes. These are high pressure and low temperature metamorphic events. Then we have related to continental collision processes. Then we have moderate pressure and temperature conditions. I will show you this then in another diagram. So in such metamorphic rocks, these are the products, or these products are strongly deformed rocks with a typical deformation fabrics, and we are calling this also folds. So typical rocks are, typical metamorphic rocks, we are just calling them schists or gneisses. Yeah? So, and I mean, Eleanor gave last year also introduction into metamorphic rocks, but yes, from there you should know. But now you are hearing it just again, and that doesn't matter. Then we have parallel orientation of inequant minerals like micas, amphiboles, and feldspars. So, and that produces the, in metamorphic rocks, a schistosity. So, and examples for where you can find metamorphic rocks, these are the Scottish Highlands, the Central Alps, the Coast Range in Scandinavia, in California, I mean, and then the Scandinavian Caledonies, and in New England, and then all other fossil and all active orogenic belts on this level. Yep, next slide. So whereas local scale metamorphism, that is related to the release of heat by magma, as I told you also before. So and there you have then that is released by large magmatic intrusions and contact metamorphism in contact aureoles. So the products, these are fine-grained, undeformed rocks with fabrics of the precursor rock. And the precursor rock was before a sedimentary rock, or was an igneous rock, or another metamorphic rock. And this rock we are calling then a protolite. So, and then we have here examples. These are the Alps. In the Alps, you have the Bergell and the Adamello. You can find it in the Oslo Rift in Scotland and blah blah blah. Next slide. So then we have different metamorphic rocks. So we have phyllites, and these are slates. Yeah, these are very low-grade metamorphic rocks. So and these are fine-grained, clay-rich, weakly metamorphosed algali and mudstones with fine parallel fissility and schistosity. So these are very fine-grained rocks, and they form under very low pressure and temperature conditions. So then we have the schists. So in the schists, these are metamorphic rocks, rich in sheet silicate, micas and chloride, with a well-developed pervasive schistosity, splits in millimeter to centimeter sized slabs. So example, this is the chloride schist, the mica schist, and calcareous mica schists. Then we have the gneisses. In the gneisses are metamorphic rocks, rich in feldspar and quartz, and they have less abundant micas because the gneisses are formed at higher temperatures. So and then the micas, they are dehydrating and the H2 is running away, and the mica is then out of this mica we are forming then other minerals which are stable in such gneiss. So, and what else? So we have then another schist silicate with clear fabrics. Examples, we have the two mica gneiss, the granite gneiss, the para gneiss, migmatitic gneiss, cordierite garnet, silimanite gneiss, and the garnet hornblende gneiss. Yep, next slide. So then we have marbles, and marbles, these are metamorphosed carbonate-rich sediments such as limestones and dolomites. Then we have the serpentinites. So in the serpentinites, these are metamorphic rocks which are modally dominated by one or more minerals of the serpentine group. I told you just right now, the serpentines are also polymorphic minerals. And that can be the chrysotile, which is the asbestos, the lizardite or the antiborite. So and that represents a hydrated mantle rock, yeah? And the mantle rock, you know this by now as well, these are the peridotites, yeah? So then we have the soapstones, and the soapstones, these are soft metamorphic rocks consisting mainly of talc and magnesite. So when they are derived from mantle rocks and serpentinite by the reaction with CO2-bearing fluids, yeah? So I mean the volatiles which we are using in our rock systems, they are always or often a mixture of water and CO2. Yeah? So if your volatiles are more water-rich, then you are forming from your mantle rock a serpentinite. If your volatile rock, if your mantle rock is more is affected by a more CO2-rich fluid, then you will form a soapstone. So next slide. So then we have green schists. So and therefore we have green schists, and the typical green schist that is called a green schist because it is green. So and that is a metamorphosed basalt or gabbro. So you can have a green schist facies rock. That is a green schist facies rock is also formed under the same pressure and temperature conditions like green schist. So but the green schist facies rock is not green at all. So that is because the green schist facies rock was before not a basalt or a gabbro. The green schist facies rock was before a sediment, and the sediment has another bulk chemistry compared to a basalt or a gabbro. So and therefore you are forming the low chloride, you are forming the green schist facies rock some two d-octaedric micas. So what a d-octaedric mica is, that I will tell you also maybe in the next week or the week after that. So anyway, the typical green schist rock, that is a metamorphosed basalt or gabbro, and we will switch in the green mineral chloride. Then there is actinolite. Inside actinolite is an amphibole and epidote. So a non-schistose variety are called green stones. So when they are, these green schists are formed at low metamorphic conditions. So then we have the amphibolite. The amphibolite, this is also a metamorphosed basalt or gabbro with the characteristic mineral pair hornblende and plagioclase. So in there you have other minerals inside like the garnet, the epidote, the diopside. Diopside is a pyroxene. And that can be, and micas can be present as well. So in these amphibolites, they are typical for intermediate metamorphic grades. So then you have granulites, and granulites are formed under high temperatures. So in such a granulite, that is was formerly also a metamorphosed basalt or gabbro. So in anything else, if you have a metamorphosed sediment, then we are calling them not longer a granulite or an amphibolite, then it is an amphibolite facies rock, or it is a granulite facies rock. So the granulite that is, has the high metamorphic, is formed at high metamorphic rates. So and they are very poor in hydrated minerals like micas and garnets. So and then you have examples. You have 2-pyroxene granulite, which is formed at lower pressures. You have next to 1-pyroxene granulite, which is formed at higher pressures. So next slide. So then we have the blue schist. And the blue schist that is blue because of the blue mineral glaucophan. And the glaucophan is an amphibole, and the glaucophan is blue because of the sodium concentration. So in such blue schists are typically formed under low temperature and high pressure conditions. So in typical minerals in such a blue schist that you can have also the lapsolite or opsolite, then you can have the epidote, then you can have garnet. So in what else have I written there? Have I written the paragonite, that is also a sheet silicate, the type. So and then we have the eclogites. I will show you next week also rock examples from very nice eclogite, which I am studying. And the eclogite is the rock which is formed at very high pressures. So, and this eclogite was then also formed a metamorphosed basalt or gabbro, characteristic in mineral pairs omphacite and garnet. So the omphacite, that is also a pyroxene, but it is a pyroxene which you can only find in eclogites. Yeah? In no other rock on this planet or in the whole space as omphacite. So in the next very typical thing is from an eclogite is there is no plagioclase inside. Yeah? So other minerals of an eclogite, that is kyanite, orthopyroxene, fengite, that is also a mica, aragonite, which is also a mica, talc, carbonates, and others. So and that is typical for very high pressure conditions. These are the eclogites. Next slide. So and here we have the world famous metamorphic facies diagram. So and I think, do we have actually blue schists here, green schists, amphibolites, granulites, and eclogites? Do we have? So then I would suggest for next week exercise, right? Yes. Yes, you must not do it now, but I think we have, because I have done this exercise before. So then the exercise, what you have to do, I mean, eclogites we have a lot. So then I think green schist, amphibolites we have also. Green schist we have, yeah. Blue we have. So and then, yes. So and then I think you should then organize by yourself a 3 paper. A 3 is the best, yeah. So and then you can draw this diagram on an A3 paper. Yeah, you can just take this diagram. We will just throw it on the board next week. Yeah, with I mean here with this PowerPoint or whatever it is. So and then you are drawing inside the different facies, yeah? So you can just take it from here and describing them here. So and then the exercises, he will give you then the rocks, and then you can put these rocks in these different places. Therefore, the A3 paper, because the A4 paper is too small. So, because I mean, if you are putting such a big rock on an A4 paper, then you cannot see the other fascias. So, and then you are writing inside in all these fascias, you are writing inside all the typical minerals, yeah? And you are writing inside neither the ring or the Dear-Howiean suspect. So in the Dear-Howiean suspect, there is a book where you can find all the mineral chemistries, I think of about 3,000 minerals, yeah? So, and then you can write inside the mineral chemistry, and you can write inside what's the story of the rock, how they are formed, and blah blah blah. Yeah, that is a very good exercise, and I can make a lot of questions about this around the examination. Yeah. So, but anyway, we have now this situation. That is the metamorphic facies diagram, the so-called metamorphic facies diagram, constructed by Escola in 1915. Escola was also a metamorphic petrologist, as I am. So, but he has constructed the metamorphic facies diagram during a time when I even was not born, so he was quite faster than me. So, and therefore we have here the division, we have subgreenschists, they are formed under very low pressure and temperature conditions. Then we have the green schist, yeah, which are formed also at low pressure and temperature conditions. And the green schist is green because of the green mineral chloride. If the protolite was formerly an basalt or a carbon. Then we have here the amphibolite, and the amphibolite contains then mainly the rock-forming mineral amphibole, because otherwise it would not be an amphibolite. Yeah? So then we are continuing here, and then we have here the granulite. So in the granulite is then formed at temperatures above, let us say, 780 degrees Celsius. We have the dehydration of the high-risk minerals. The granulite does not have a schistosity, because at this temperature and pressure condition, that is the thing what we will talk about after the midterm break, at these temperature pressure conditions here, migmatization will take place. So, and there you are producing the melt. So, and then your granulite is crystallizing again. So, and then we have here the blue schist, which is a blue rock because of the blue mineral glaucophan, that is this guy here. So, and here we have the eclogite, which has the typical mineral paragenes of garnet and opposite. So, and then we have here the contact metamorphic area, and the contact metamorphism took place at very low pressure conditions, because it is just an intrusion from melt in a surrounding country rock, and this surrounding country rock can be an igneous rock, can be a metamorphic rock, or can be sedimentary rock. So then we have these two arrows inside. So at this arrow, or this PT pass here, that is typical for a collision. So at this collision, that is, as I just told you before, the collision of two continents, or of continent fragments. That is then the situation like in the Alps, or is the situation like in the Himalaya. So whereas this, and there I made a red arrow inside, because there we are dealing with higher temperatures, and if you are going to such a sink, then usually you have two taps, yeah, and on the tap where the hot water is coming out, then there is a red dot, and on the tap where the blue water is, no, not the blue water, the cold water is coming out, there is a blue dot. So, and the subduction, here we have the PT pass for subduction, and that is then I make it blue because it is more cold. So and then you are forming your mine, you have a subduction, you are forming then other rocks, and these other rocks containing other minerals. So next slide, please. So then we have the systematic of the minerals. So we have elements, yeah, and the elements, these are the native minerals like gold, silver, copper, sulfur, graphite, and diamond. So and now we have, what time is it now? 1:45. I think then we are done for today.